In today's video, we are talking about plans. What's your plan for your business for the coming school year? It's back to school. So what are you going to do? I'm going to talk about 3 different plans or suggestions. Remember, take one, do your own, you do you. And then we're also going to talk about accountability. Stick around. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, my name is Lori Ann, and if you are new or returning, welcome. Here at It's All Primary Talk, Teachers Pay Teachers, Boom, Pinterest, Canva, Google Slides. Oh, here comes the cat already. It doesn't take long. The moment I turn on the camera, he shows up. I have been in the classroom now a week and a half, and just setting up, moving in. Almost all my, I would say about 80% of my stuff is out of the garage. The kids start back next week and I am already exhausted. I am falling asleep at about 4 o'clock. And I thought this is a great time to talk about what is your new routine for the school year. And let me tell you, I'm going to give you three suggestions or ideas. I've done all 3. Sometimes I interchange them. If you saw the video, I'll put a thumbnail right there. That was one I did for quite a while. I did it for almost a year, and it was pretty good. But I found that when I was too tired, product creation was that one went first. Product creation. And honestly, you've got to do the things that are going to bring the most profit. Product creation is the last one you want to be, getting rid of, or not getting rid of, just not doing. Unless you've got hundreds and hundreds of products, and then you don't have to worry about it too much. If you watched the video on what TPT sellers make, it was only posted, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. There was a slide in the presentation that talked about how many hours most TPT sellers work on their store or their business during school while they're teaching. And a large percentage do 0 to 5 hours. 0 to 5. Now, I've been in that 0 to 5, and I've actually been 0. And I've done 5 or more. And I'm just speaking from experience here, when I am regularly in my store, updating things, adding a product, my store does well. I don't know, there is rumors that part of the algorithm is you having an active store, responding to reviews and updating keywords and putting in a new product. Someone suggested that the algorithm notices that. I don't know. I mean, is he distracting to you? But I've done all 3 of these suggestions I'm going to give you, and I do them sometimes in seasons. But I think for me, I'm going to try to not do 0 a week. And before we talk about starting our new routine, one of the things we got to address is taking care of yourself. There are a lot of teachers that have left teaching this year because of burnout. There are people that have sellers that have left TPT because of burnout. You are going to be tired as a teacher. There is no way around that. I've been teaching, this is my 25th year, and I still get tired. I mean, I just told you earlier, I'm already tired and the kids aren't even back yet. Teaching is tiring. So how do you get around that? We need to, first of all, take care of our bodies. We need to take care of ourselves. We have, for most of us, we have responsibilities outside of the classroom. Some of us have families, spouses and partners and children and older parents that we're taking care of, and all these responsibilities that take our time, and they are all important. But TPT being a long-term gain for you and your family means we got to do some little things now, just little things, okay? And there are people who've made a fair bit of money on TPT doing little things, but doing little things consistently. So take care, number one, take care of you and your family. Get your sleep, eat properly. I don't sleep when I eat that much chocolate, and then I'm tired, and then I'm cranky, and like all these things. Get your rest. So how do we fit things in? There are a lot of things that can be done in short amounts of time. And so suggestion number one is to follow what a lot of TPT sellers do and aim for not 0, but 1 to 5 hours a week. You know your schedule best. I mean, pull out your schedule, look at every single hour. What are you doing? And see if you can block either 5 hours in the weekend, or maybe even a half an hour to an hour during the week. Because I find for me, when I look at my whole week, I have blocks of time. They're short. I couldn't do 3 hours in a night. I'm physically, my brain is not there to do 3 hours a night, but I can do 1. And I can sometimes do 2 to 2.5. But if I force myself to do 2 hours a night, some nights yes, but most nights no. So I will do an hour. Sometimes what I do, and it's something that I've been doing, even you saw in that video, I like to do blogging in the morning. So it's not necessarily, blogging is not necessarily considered a profitable, and it's going to drive traffic to my TPT store. But it's not what I consider a direct profit activity or task. I won't count that as part of my hour. What I'm talking about is an hour to 5 hours of product creation. If I can do 1 hour of product creation, either in the morning, get up a little bit earlier and even put half an hour in, and then when I get home before I have all these dinner time things, spend another half an hour to an hour. There, I got an hour in it. So if I can do that most nights, an hour, then that frees up my weekend. Or, right, again, I can choose not to do anything during the weeknights and try and do maybe 2 hours or 3 hours Saturday and 2 hours Sunday. We all have different timetables. And see if you can fit 30 minutes of product creation here, 30 minutes or an hour of product creation over here, and just get some consistency of working on it every week so that you can finish off a product. Maybe it takes an entire month to do a medium-sized product, but then it's done. Now, I know there are many TPT sellers who, when they say 0 to 5, it's because they're working on the holidays. But, and I've tried that. I actually did that for a little while where I just did nothing except on the holidays. But I found that by the time I got to a holiday, working on my business was the last thing I really wanted to do. I just didn't want to do it. So that's not going to work for me. It might work for you. If it works for you, you do you. Product creation is our most profitable task. Okay, so create it, upload it. If you can spend 1 to 5 hours a week working on product creation. This is the thing that I found. When I was doing 0, I didn't get into a groove with creating. And because I didn't get into a groove, when I finally sat down to make something, I really wasn't motivated. And you kind of lose, I don't know, it's almost like, let me use the analogy of tennis since I'm such a tennis fan. I can watch tennis. Like right now I'm watching the US Open. I can watch tennis all day. Does that make me a better tennis player? No. I mean, it might help with my strategy and whatever. But unless I'm in it and doing it, and the thing is, if I'm not in it and doing it consistently, I won't get better at it. And I think if you're consistently doing some product creation, you will get better at it. And you will actually start seeing ways that you can save time here and there. But you've kind of got to get into it. If you just keep putting it off until a holiday, it becomes drudgery. And we don't want that, right? We want you to enjoy the experience. I mean, this is your business. Let's enjoy this. Don't make it horrible for yourself. Okay, so suggestion number 1 is 1 to 5 hours. 1 to 5, not 0 to 5. 1 to 5. Okay, and focusing on product creation. And then you can throw, when it's done, throw another hour to upload, do your, it actually takes, well, for me, if I'm only doing one product at a time, it can take up to 2 hours because of photography and all these other things, right? And marketing and whatever. Routine number 2 is to double it, 5 to 10. Again, with the biggest focus on product creation. Now, this is sort of the one that I am doing, but I'm doing it a little bit differently. What I'm doing is I'm taking those 10 hours and I'm still spending 5 hours on new product creation, like new products. But then I'm also spending then 1 hour, maybe 2. I haven't fully decided this because I'm just hashing all this out right now, on existing products, because I want to get as many products as I can on those first couple pages in this search. So I'm literally going through, I printed off all my products on a big spreadsheet, and I'm literally going through them. And I'm starting with my highest earners, and I'm just going down from there. And there's things missing sometimes from some of my older products. I'm gonna get those things on there, right? Like I have preview videos, but I don't necessarily have preview PDFs. So, because someone told me don't do PDFs, do videos, and so I listened to them, and they're wrong. So, I mean, you can do both, but if you're going to do one, just do the PDF, because that's what people really do look for. If that's what gets me sales, I'm going to do a preview PDF. Yes, these suggestions are not talking about Pinterest and email and all that. Yeah, those things are all important too. You put a time on how much it takes for you to do those things. I'm just talking about product creation right now. So that's 2 suggestions. The third one is the one that you saw the video, where I do a theme night every night. And Monday nights is my product creation night. One of my nights is Canva. One of my nights is YouTube, right? I've got different nights that I do things. It worked for most of last year. But what ended up happening is that there was a season where I was tired. I mean, got COVID in the spring, was in a car accident in the spring, cat died in the winter, things happened. And so there would be certain nights that I just had 0 in me. I had no energy. And so certain things suffered because of those certain nights, right? Monday night was usually my best night, but what I ended up doing is I started noticing I was losing say Wednesday night, and so I started bumping things because I was losing a night each week. So that wasn't working for me. And again, you may find we're at the beginning of the school year right now, maybe doing 1 to 5 hours, right, as a goal and a routine, established routine, works better than right now. But maybe towards November and December you could do 5 to 10, right? There's nothing etched in stones that says you have to do these, like this all the time. You just don't. Okay. So pick something. If you have a routine that you really enjoy and it's really working for you, can you write it down below and let us know? Because people ask, sort of from time to time, what do people do? Last thing I want to talk about is accountability. And in all of this, all these routines and everything, there is an element of accountability. And honestly, when you have your own TPT store, there is no accountability. No one is telling you got to get this product done by Friday, you have to do this. There is none of that. There is zero. There's zero accountability. And because there's zero accountability, we can skip a week. We can skip a month. Hey, we can skip a year. We can, because there's zero accountability. And that works okay for some people, but in all honesty, it doesn't work for me. I like being accountable. And so when I first started, I was part of an accountability group. And we were all new sellers, and that works to some extent. I honestly think if you're going to get yourself into an accountability group, you need somebody who has been at it a little while and can talk you through the highs and the lows. So someone with experience. I was in a second accountability group and I was the leader, and I'm thinking I shouldn't have been the leader. See, the other thing with accountability, or not having accountability, is that I can write down in my plan, I'm going to do 1 hour of product creation. And then I'm like, sit down at the computer and I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. Maybe I'll just scroll through Instagram and maybe someone will inspire me and do something. And then I end up spending 3 hours scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever, and I get no work done. And I forgot to share this earlier, but when you write in your planner that you are going to spend 1 hour of product creation, be very specific. Write down, like I keep a lot, I love post-it notes. I'm just a lover of post-it notes. I'll have these post-it notes everywhere. I have them on my, on the computer and whatever. And I have exactly what I'm working on, right? So that I don't sit down and go, now what am I going to do? I don't wait till then to decide what I'm going to do. I write it out. And if it's a specific thing, like working on a game for this product, or working on a color by code using, a digraph, right? Specific things. So I know exactly what I'm doing. And I find that when I know exactly what I'm doing, I'm more inclined to actually do it. One of the things I wanted to share with you is, back in early 2021, I was attending a workshop for entrepreneurs, and they were talking about accountability groups. And again, as I've mentioned, I was in accountability groups, but often I was the leader, and I didn't want to be the leader because, again, I still consider myself a new TPT seller. And they brought up this accountability group where you pay to be in it, and it's short term. I thought, I'm game. I'll see what that's like. And I joined it, and it worked. It was just a little reminder that, hey, I had to do these things. I had to do I had this little list of things that I needed to do. And within it, there was always a 1 hour power hour, which is what I consider my product creation hour, right? They have all these little things. So they give you a task list of things you need to do, and you got to submit it. There are different types of accountability groups, and I didn't want one where I had to always meet, right? And those are great. And if you find one, that's terrific. Many Facebooks will, from time to time, offer accountability groups, or group coaching, or group a group working session. Great. If those work for you, great. This accountability group is sponsored or run by Misty Miller. She's got a great Facebook group for TPT sellers. If you're not, it's huge. I mean, she's got a few thousand people in it. You can contact her through that Facebook group, but I believe the group is actually just called TPT Seller Challenge or something like that. What she does is every Sunday morning she posts a PDF or a JPEG image of something, and she has a little theme. So this one's week 12. She does them in groups of 12 or 13. I can't remember the number. And you pay, I believe it's $1 a week, or $1.50 a week or something like that. And at the end of the 12 or 13 week session, she pulls a couple names, and they get gift cards or whatever, usually to TPT or something like that. So it works out fine. And these work for me. And I think that even this idea of I'm paying is just a little bit of a motivation to do it. She does allow you to take a break, and you just have to post it. So, so these get posted on Sundays. You highlight which ones you've done. It's kind of an honor system. And then on Saturday, there'll be a feed where you submit. You just take a picture of this and submit it. And you can see what other people are doing. It's not a huge group, but it's great. Like I said, this is a neat little accountability for me personally. Try and put a link down below. But if you're looking for something for accountability groups work really well for people too. And if you're in accountability group, let me know down below if that's working for you. There's different accountability groups if you're looking for a specific subject like music or high school science or something like that. They're out there. check the Facebook groups first. Once in a while you can find them on Instagram, but I don't see them as often there as opposed to Facebook. And and then you can meet there. And there are some accountability groups where you've got to be making a minimum of whatever it is a month in order to get into them. So those are available too. All right. Next week's video. Okay, this one actually is based on some comments that were made a week or two ago about UTM codes and links in Pinterest idea pins. Yes, you can actually put links in them. Okay, and I found out something even more interesting about idea pins just recently, and so I'll talk about that as well. So we're going to talk about UTM codes because I think it's really important that if you're going to do some marketing, if you don't track it, then how do you know if it's effective? This is one of my biggest beefs with Boom. There's no way of tracking what is driving people to my Boom, which is right now nobody. So we're going to talk about UTM codes, how to use them, creating your own little system for them, and then seeing how you can track them. Okay, so wherever you are in the world, I hope you and your family are staying safe, being healthy, and taking care. Be kind to one another. And if you are just starting the school year, have a wonderful year. We can do this. We can get through this again. You're not in this alone. Find a coach, find a mentor, find somebody to help you through this. Okay? And we'll catch you in that video or that playlist. See ya.